What's going on, guys? It is your boy Cash, and it is time to go over another one of these spoiled children, and it's gonna be Tyrione, or as I like to say in the test server, Tyrione, which in my opinion is dramatically better. I realized that if I back up for like 2 seconds, I covered Tarkus, I covered Haspel, and now that she has a brand new skin, I thought, hey, might as well cover Tyrione, because some people probably like try to summon for her, get the skin, and probably don't know what the hell she does. So of course you guys know how it goes. We're gonna go over her skills, her leader skill, gear sets, rune sets, sorry, and of course, you know, anything that's unique and crazy about her, which is only really one thing, which is how her passive works. So yeah, let's get into it. So first up, we have the blade tail is going to be her S1, and she's one of the first ones to ever have the upgrading thing when she came in with that patch, which actually gave these things. So once you hit level 3, it will get penetration damage. It also has a chance to do mortal charm. Now mortal charm is a kind of like a regular charm. You pretty much are stunned, but you can get attacked out of it. So if you get attacked, it will go away. Also, this type of charm, this type of charm actually counts on everyone's turn instead of just one turn charm and then it goes back to their turn. So usually these turns are a long time. Like this one is a 5-turn thing, so that is 5 turns that go by when this character cannot attack. So it's very, very strong, and it does go up, going all the way up to 8 turns, which is insane. So if you really think, you know, if you're really trying to make some type of lockdown, you could just think about maxing this out first, but of course we got to see everything else first. We can't just jump the gun. Next up is the blade fire. It is a cone attack that casts Engraving of Destruction for 1 turn. Engraving of Destruction inflicts 100% max HP when skill 3 is used. So if you use your S3 when this debuff is on you, you pretty much die. So as you can see here, it gains penetration damage on level 3. The chance for engraving, actually, yes, at level 3 also it's a 2-turn, so that means 2 turns they can't use their S3, which is very strong, or else they'll die. I mean, they can use it, but they'll die. And then it just becomes a 90% chance here, which is really good, and it's also for 3 turns. Now, if you're going to be running a very fast version of her, then yes, this is not that bad to have. But if you're not going to have a fast one, then this is kind of useless, because most of the time other characters going to go first. They're going to use their S3 first, and then you won't really be able to engraving anything. It's also good to obviously use against healers, revivers, because they're not going to blow their big cooldown immediately. So that's another good way to do it. And it's on a pretty it's on a pretty low cooldown too. It's on a skill 3 cooldown. So technically, if you were to max this out, you could put the engraving on it and then pretty much put it right back. And last but not least, the S3, which is the Blade Storm, inflicts damage equal to 120 attack to all enemies, so it's an AoE skill, and then additional inflicts penetration damage again to 3 targets, not all the targets, but you'll see here, then it turns into 4 enemies, and then the first part also gets penetration. Then you keep going here to level 5, and then it's all enemies on the second part of it as well. So this just becomes a, you know, really strong hit. Hits twice pretty much for the same amount of damage. Kind of weird, but I think for the way it scales as a S3 that hits all enemies, it has very, very strong scaling because it hits pretty much twice penetration damage. So it's very strong. It's just very, very, very strong. Keep that in mind. So let's look at the passives. Might help you guys out a little bit. This is one of her best passives. One, because it actually comes on her, like you don't have to get to the level 60 or whatever, and it applies mortal charms to all enemies for 2 turns at the start of the wave. This was the thing that is actually the very unique thing that I would have to say, is that this is really, really strong because it pretty much kills any speed team. If they have 4 turns of characters going before your characters, then 4 turns are wasted and then your team goes. It's really strong. And also here we got decreases enemy heroes resolved by 1 turn at the start of the turn, includes resolves that cannot be removed. So that's another thing. I guess it would be very difficult to show, but I could tell you with characters that have what I like to call the super resolves, their resolve does not go away until their turn goes. If she is here, she will actually, and if she gets a turn, she will take those resolves out. She is super counter to a lot of the stuff that comes around in PvP. That's her main purpose. As far as in PvE, she only has 1 dungeon where she's strong and people really don't use her for it in Purina, which I don't, you know, she doesn't, yeah, she really doesn't work that much in there, but you can throw her in there. She does do okay in there, but yeah. But then you got the boop, boop, boop. Her next one is the life force becomes immune to revive unavailable and extinction. Extinction, I think, is only something that Purina does, and grants immortality with 30% HP upon death, but will not be revived if burned. And there's the classic immortality. Activates 2 times per battle. Very sturdy character. Very hard to not get revive unavailable, which is really good. That means it's very easy to get her back into the game. It means she's gonna combo well with all the good revivers. Ramu, Rue. Can't think of any more because those are like the 2 best ones. There's obviously a lot of revivers in the game. Daimos now is a reviver. Karen's passive helps revive. So there's a lot of really cool things that you can do with her, keep her up there, and then as things are dying, boom, she literally will take the resolves in PvP. And in other cases, the Mortal Charm is, I think, the strongest. If I had to go down by what to upgrade first, it's gonna go down to S2 if I'm gonna build her fast. If I'm gonna build her really fast, I'll get this S2 maxed out, have this really strong thing, lock down their S3s, because remember, they're not taking any turns, and the Mortal Charm is only on them. So you can literally hit any of these people that you want, put the Engraving of Destruction on them, and then they can't do anything. That's the ticket. And I mean, you could also vouch for this, the Bladestorm, but it's just really hard to really nuke that well with her, and we're gonna have to look at her base stats to really get a hand on, you know, how fast she actually is. And then of course the S1, but the S1, as we saw, 8 turns, 90% chance to put it on that single target is actually nuts, and you can pretty much lock down a character pretty efficiently. So multi-strike and counter is on the table with this character, but she's really, like I said, really to counter out PvP. Really good design for that, specifically because revive unavailable is a nightmare in that mode. Let's go look at her base stats. Alright, so the base stats, as you guys will be able to tell from here, the attack, as I said, every SSR attacker has the same exact attack. So what we're really looking here is the attack speed. So where she's looking at about 539, the reason why mine is 549 is because I have max purple, because we just max purple new characters out here, you know what I'm talking about? And that's pretty much all you really have to worry about. So 539 is a relatively slow speed, but that's why she's not, you know, this is a character based on the way that her first passive works. You don't want her to go necessarily first, because you want the enemy team to take 4 turns and do absolutely nothing, and then your team comes after that. Because attack speed in this game, the way that it works, it's kind of like everyone gets a turn. You don't lap someone unless you have that buff called adrenaline. So if you let the other team go first, remember in PvP it's a 5v5, so if all your characters are slow, they'll pretty much, it allows you to be like, well, you guys all go first, and then my team's gonna go, and then you can actually set up some crazy things. I mean, like, let's just, like, Cheshire is a really good example. She allows you to get the auto crit, so then you can run her slow, Tyrione slow, with crit damage, and she's gonna auto crit because of Cheshire, which she's right here, right? I actually have mine with the S2. Look, you get a 100% chance, you put the S2 on them, right, to deal critical strike, and boom. And if you want, look at this, and at this point you can even have a chance to put curse, so you can go crit damage, some nutso stuff like crit damage burst. Let's just go into the runes, because I'm already getting hype about it. So let's just hop straight into that. As you can see, mine is runed extremely well. I mean, there's really not much that you can do to improve on what I have on mine, and I mean, let's just be honest, it's probably the best you're gonna see. But let's just go into the, you know, let me show you other options. Unity, again, I always have to mention it. It's only if you're going with this pure dark team, which in the moment, there's really no reason to do that. So, I wouldn't say anything about that. Resolve, I would actually vouch for, just because she has immortality. That means she has 2 extra lives. Resolve gives her a 3rd one pretty much. Just makes her a little bit more annoying. And she has CC, and she has the Engraving of Destruction. So while she's staying around in the fight even longer, she's able to lock down and then stop them from their S3s when they come back off cooldown as well. Because remember, her S2 is only on a 3-turn cooldown, so it's very likely that she'll be able to pop it off and then keep them from using their S3s, or they'll die. So really good thing with Resolve, just to keep her staying power even stronger, which is annoying. And I see it right here. Concentration applies concentrated power at the start of the wave, increases the damage dealt by the S3 by 50%. This is the strat that I'm talking about. If you're gonna make sure that your characters are slower, then you drop the concentration on them and do a crazy AoE sweep, especially if you're maxing out that S3. This would be ridiculous way to actually just allow her to just be this monstrous thing. And remember, it's only for 2 turns, so you know not gonna get too much use out of it, but it's for the win. You're doing this for the quick and easy win. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. You could somewhat argue Dominion. She does have Mortal Charm, which is an abnormal status. She has the Engraving of Destruction, which is an abnormal status. But I still think it's just not that strong enough because the Mortal Charm goes away once you hit them, right? And then Engraving of Destruction is good, but I feel like you usually put these on characters that have more easily to apply abnormal statuses. Rune of Destruction only if you're gonna run it with Cheshire or any character that's gonna give you like what is it, Wendy, any character that's going to give you a crit damage. Remember, she has nothing to actually allow her to crit for free, so this is gonna be only team comp oriented stuff here if you're gonna be using crit damage. If that, then you're just gonna go to the basic, and which is the rage. Wow, this is a really good rage rune. You're just gonna go to the rage and you're just gonna go basic attack, stack up the attack, get the crit chance, which I'm pretty sure is down here somewhere in the boondocks. Counter attack is not gonna do it. Counter is not that bad, because yes, you can sit there, get hit, attack them back, and then charm them, and then they're sitting there for, as we already seen, upwards to at least 5 turns that they're gonna sit there, or even hell 8 turns after they just attack would be pretty vicious. Revenge is really good. Multi-strike not so much, but revenge is really good. Then we have the Rune of Assault. Like I said, I think that the basic, and now that we're here at the bottom of it near the end, the best thing you could probably do is either concentration if you're going for a really strong S3, and then assault so you can get a really good crit off, or just rage, because concentration is a 4 rune set. So either you're going rage or concentration and then assault, and you're just sitting there to just dump on. That's PvP-esque. If you're going for these long PvE kind of things, maybe you'll just sit there and go rage, because concentration is not going to help you throughout these long strenuous battles. So that's pretty much it for her runes, if you were to ask me, which I guess you are because you're watching my video. So yes, let's go on to the next part, which is going to be hero talents. And as you can see, I did such a great job. So obviously here we're gonna go with this. This is a monstrosity. I'm gonna do this in mid video. This is why I hate this, by the way. This is the saddest thing. They should take this out. This is one of like the lingering terrible things in the game. Like, why am I doing this long? Just to improve my character at that. And the fact that it goes from 1 to 2 to 2 to 1, and all I needed to go is 3. This should be something, honestly, how much am I spending on this? It's ridiculous amount, right? It should just be like tiers and you just go to level 3. Like, it's ridiculous. It's just oof. Sorry. Finally. Holy crap. Alright, so next up, obviously, I say she's a PvP character. She's a PvP character. She's a PvP character, so I would think that arena would be more enticing to you in comparison to bosses, which, as I said, bosses only work on things that have the boss title, which is only going to be like the end of the dungeon or something like that. Won't help you too much there. S2, she does have a low cooldown S2, but yeah, you're going to pretty much be battling between those two. Defense, I always say, is pretty much the best one. This one is kind of because it only works when you're at a elemental disadvantage. This one only used for multi-tackers, things of that nature. And this one I had the bosses because we were trying to say I was going to level up so she could fight the good fight in Purina, but then all the news was like, yeah, just get double Ashley Murdoch and a reviver and you'll be good to go. So yeah, I would definitely go with like decreased damage in arena. But if you are using her and you want her to be your PvE goddess, then yes, you switch this one to bosses, and then you switch this one to keep this one bosses as well. Now this one, obviously, I said this a million times before, if you guys are familiar with my guides, critical strike damage only when you have automatic crit strike damage stuff. If not, you're gonna go here to crit strike chance to increase your damage, increase your chance at increasing your damage randomly. Plus you should be going assault as well, so 15 here plus your assault set will be a decent amount, and then hopefully you get some crit chance substats, and then you'll be critting in no time. And then penetration is cool, but she already has penetration as you level up her skills, so it's kind of a waste. And then of course the lovely, the beautiful, I don't even have this, let's get it right now, Life Force. One quick thing that I did want to show is that there's something really strange about Tyrione, and I know that they haven't fixed it. Now, applies Mortal Charm to all enemies for 2 blah 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 blah, right? We already discussed this. Now, we all know that the Mortal Charm is an abnormal status, and it says that it cannot be removed. Funny enough, that even though that thing is an abnormal status, and we have this beautiful rune set that is called Resistance. Now, you grant abnormal status immunity for 1 turn at the start of the wave. Increases turns as you stack it, right? So let's equip these. So now I have a normal status immunity at the beginning of the round. Her passive pierces through this thing. All right, luckily I got my turn, right? So where's my, see, all her characters. This is why, see, look, and this is another reason why to show you guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. His characters are built pretty fast, right? So one of his characters already went. That's how fast he is, but he would lose all those turns if I wasn't actually running speed 2. I just wanted to get my turn. So actually his Tyrione has it too, abnormal status, but this still gets put on. It still gets put on regardless. Like, it doesn't matter, which is just strange, right? Becomes immune to normal statuses, but I still get a normal status put on me. It's because they activate them pretty much both at the same time. It's very weird how that's done. I think that the abnormal status immunity should go on first. See, now that's beautiful, right? Because now I get all my turns. Haha, now I get to freeze you up. This pretty much goes to show you that no matter how good you are, you can still get the bell combo. This is crazy. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Alright, last thing to do that I like to do is showcase the skills just in case you don't have them. And let's see. So we got the S1, which is the bone tail, the blade tail, sorry. Too much Tarkus. Nice little swift little kick. Well, it's not a kick, I guess it's the tail. That's why it's called. But yeah, we won't talk about that. Alright, next up is going to be the S2, which is the blade fire. You get to see it more in action than when I'm losing. Nice little effect there, kind of like it. Then of course her S3, which is just gorgeous. Love it, love it, love it. And that's gonna be the end of the video. So hopefully you guys had a good time. I hope you guys learned something today. If you didn't, I'm sorry. I failed you. But I had some fun doing this one, and I'm looking forward to the update that's coming in a couple days. It's gonna be some new characters. I'm saving up my things. That's why I didn't even buy her skin, and I love her skin. Woo! I love her skin. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. So elegant, baby. So elegant. Oh, every time. Gets me every time.